There is no doubt that social media and handheld devices are making their way into the world of education. From YouTube to educational software such as Edmodo, students are drawn to their preferred medium of communication, social media.
Social media is defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. This is a time when students begin to be more than just curious and are starting to engage online. It is a prime time to begin to understand the powers behind social media.
Creating a hybrid learning environment encourages and motivates students' full attention. Teens use social media to stay connected and meet friends, share photos, play games, blog, do homework, and promote causes they believe in. If our fundamental role as educators is to prepare students to be active participants in society, as outlined by the New London Group's 1996 manifesto, it is critical that we create seamless transitions from social media to classroom content. Building the skills to effectively use social media in a meaningful way will work to support student development in preparation for successful participation in 21st century society.
Studies show that today's teens' preferred medium of communication is through their devices.
For our thematic media production, Laura and I decided to team up to face some of these questions around incorporating social media in the classroom head-on. Through the careful examination of academics such as Cheryl Turkle, we put together this case study, hence further supporting and understanding Turkle's findings that the incorporation of technology into the classroom helps to evolve the way we think about knowing and understanding.
Our rationale for completing this assignment together is that we will provide more depth to the study. Creating this assignment in a joint capacity has not only allowed us a more reflective and interesting study, but also functioned to create connections across geographic and district barriers. We will examine our in-class case study along with identifying potential needs for districts in terms of policies.
Educators around the world have started to integrate social media into their classrooms as early as the first grade. Kathy Cassidy shows how the use of social media helps to encourage and engage students through effective scaffolding, critical thinking skills, and further developing empathy due to a global connectedness. Students' opinions are heard and valued. Social media gives them a voice.
We also use Twitter in our classroom as mainly a reading and writing tool, but also to connect with other classrooms and find out what's the same in the other classrooms, what are they doing that's different than us, how can they help us to learn. We've tweeted back and forth with classes about math questions and about questions we had about places that they live.
If teens see social media as a positive influence in their lives, then why not teach them about how powerful social media can really be?
That's why we decided to develop this case study, to help our students examine their approach to social media and maybe even change ours. Our hope is to examine how these three classes connect across geographic barriers, providing them with authentic opportunities in order to witness the power of social media in the classroom.
The first step was designed to help students and teachers to develop their understanding of their current role on social media. The survey consisted of 10 questions covering age, gender, social networking membership, devices they have access to, number of years on social media, reasons they access it, and whether or not they would like social media to support classroom learning. The responses helped us to gauge our students' comfort levels and design and shape the case study.
The study showed that our students' preferred medium to communicate through was their smartphones, something they carry with them and have constant access to connect through.
Our findings demonstrate that nearly 70% of our students are using social media to be in touch with others. In other words, to be connected.
And surprisingly, since it's the preferred medium of communication, are spending less than an hour a day on it. That being said, nearly half of our students are spending more than an hour on average.
After this initial survey was taken and the results were discussed as a class, students were challenged to keep a tally of how many times and how much time that they spend on social media. There was a huge variance between the number of times checked between the younger and the older students. However, the trend for younger students to spend more time on social media was significant. Then we moved into looking at a more deeper connection. Social media is often portrayed as being a negative influence in the lives of 21st century youth. Wanting to observe our roles and examine the value, we started to question our relationships with machines. What does it mean to feel connected online? How does it change our relationships around us by being on a machine? How does it affect our emotional well-being? Really delving into the complexities of social media and how it is changing our identities both on and offline.
How do you find yourself influenced by social media?
I feel as if social media is almost an addiction for me. I go on it all the time and I always find a way to be on it.
I see it on the news, on the web, and in the classroom. Everyone talks about it, what's trending, what's happening, and exciting things.
I try not to be influenced too much by social media, mainly because I'm scared of how it's going to have an effect on me, like the way I talk and walk. But usually I watch things that set a good impact on my future, such as knowledge or videos that inspire me.
I find myself influenced by social media in a big part of my life. I like to know other people's thoughts on my own thoughts and ideas and take them into consideration.
When you think of social media, what is the first thing that comes to mind?
I think of social networking, like Facebook, because lots of people talk about it and they hang out there.
I think the word communication comes to mind because you can communicate with people that you might not be able to see in person.
When I think of social media, I think of somewhere where we can share things we find interesting or funny. For example, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Tumblr.
I think of different ideas and perspectives. I think of many beliefs and opinions. I think of variety.
Describe a situation on social media that made you feel really happy.
My friend posted a picture of me and herself on social media. And when I saw how many likes she got and the nice comments about me, I was really happy because I thought I looked ugly and I thought no one would like it.
I find it interesting and cool when I see people showing other people what they like on social media or their interests.
On YouTube, there's a YouTuber that I've been a fan of since around 2012, and on Thanksgiving he took his leftovers, dressed up as a ninja, and he went around LA handing out food plates to homeless people. It made me happy because it shows that not all people are rude and that some people like making a change in some people's lives.
Describe a situation on social media that made you feel really sad. Explain.
Sometimes I don't get why everyone will post everything about their lives. I am just not a person who will tell everyone my business.
The only facial expression in the comments are emojis. I can't tell what they mean exactly. There's not much face-to-face interaction.
Mean posts, mean comments, mean pics, mean everything. Why do people do this?
There's a challenge on social media called the #Don'tJudgeChallenge, and people make themselves look as ugly as possible, cover the camera, and then uncover it after they've made themselves look as great as possible. It made me upset because they were showing that unibrows, pimples, glasses, bad teeth, etc. made someone ugly, and I don't think that it raised people's self-confidence.
There was a photo of a pig on Twitter that said to herself when she sees her husband, and it was a really ugly photo. The thing that made me sad/upset was that everyone saw it, commented, and liked it, and everybody agreed with the caption on the photo.
In this activity, students were brought back together to try to use their presentation skills to demonstrate a positive use of social media in the classroom. They were challenged to create a 2 to 3 minute presentation that would support their opinion and provide us with the foundation of a possible support system, all thanks to current social media.
My experience with social media is pretty small because I don't have it, but I look at my mom's Pinterest account for recipes and hairstyles, but that's pretty much it. I don't think social media should be used in the classroom. What's the matter with books? Everybody knows about social media, some more than others. I learn a lot more from books and simply talking than Instagram.
My own experiences with social media are great so far because I only got it at the end of grade 6. I would ideally like it to see it used in the classroom for projects, learning by using YouTube, math websites, and for learning French.
Social media should be used in classes to explain confusing topics and to see what other people think of the confusing topics. In my experiences, social media is wonderful and I love it, and communicating with it is much easier than without it.
Our students demonstrated many ways that social media can be used in our classrooms. By outlining why it is important, we see the benefits of collaborative platforms and integrated learning. Students transition seamlessly between classroom content and online platforms. Why wouldn't it be used to support learning?
Students' ideas on how to use social media in the classroom are innovative and powerful. Students extended their knowledge of their current use of social media to their application in a school setting. Some of the recurring themes presented in student work were issues of focus and concentration, if it is through social media, along with organization.
Using social media in the classroom could easily get out of hand. To effectively use it to enhance student learning, retention of information, and have a clear understanding of material, information needs to be created collaboratively and in an organized and efficient manner.
This case study has provided us with perspective and ideas. We've examined students' approach to social media and even changed our ideas on the possibilities and opportunities that this affords us in our teaching. Students demonstrated engagement and empathy through global awareness and a larger perspective. This is the first step in a long journey to develop engaging and meaningful learning for our 21st century learners.